Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this HP Chromebook model 14-DB0023DX. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is remove all the screws from the bottom. We're going to be using a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver to do this. Alright, let me actually go get my screwdriver tip and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I was working on a desktop and I forgot I brought that inside. Anyways, let's go ahead and remove all the screws. There are little rubber covers, so I'm going to use a little needle and pull them out. You want to keep them in order because they might be different size, shape, and lengths. This goes for the rubber covers as well as the screws. Alright, the way I keep them in order is I put them like this on my desk in the pattern I remove them. I don't know if there was one missing there or not, but I don't see one there, so most likely there was. Alright, if this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Right, so anyways, we're going to use the PH1 or JS1 screwdriver to remove all the screws. Right, again, keep them in order. I like to put them in the pattern I remove them. That way I can make sure I put back the same screw exactly where I got it. Alright, and the screws, just like the rubbers, I put them flat side down like this in the pattern I remove them. So we got 3 here, 1 on either side, and then we got 4 down here. So that's how I'm putting them, laying them out on my desk. Alright, let's go ahead and get all these screws in. Okay, just like this. Alright, the customer's actually waiting outside for me to check this right away, so gotta be quick with this. Okay, last one here. Alright, so now that we got all the screws out, we're gonna go ahead and pop this plastic bottom cover off. So we're gonna open this a bit, and here you can actually see there's a seam. Oh, it's actually turning itself on right now. What is going on? So I don't know what's going on. It's turning itself on right now. Before it wasn't even doing that. I'm going to open it up and see if something is loose inside because it is doing something right now. So let me make sure it turns itself off just in case it shows some customer information. I don't want it to do that, and then some customers don't like that. So I don't know what's going on. The screen just went off by itself. Anyways, like I was saying, there's a little gap here or seam here that I get my fingernails in. You can use plastic pry tools if you want. So while I do that, I push with my thumb, okay, just like this. Alright, and hopefully we'll be able to pop this out. There we go. Okay, we're going to continue working our way over. Okay, I'm going to go down to the sides and do the same thing. Okay, just working our way over. And these clips are holding pretty strong, so keep that in mind. It's not an easy cover to just pry off. It will take a little bit of force. Okay, so go over to this edge and same thing. Okay, alright, so we got all of that. Let's see if we need to pry the back as well. It looks like we might have to. Okay, so we're going to go around the back edge here if we can. Oh, actually you can't. So I think it might pry up the keyboard edge. Okay, and let's see here. So as you can see, we got a gap here, and it looks like this one, it's going to come out this way. So we're going to try and work this up, lift that up, and slowly, carefully. You also want to kind of look inside to make sure you're not going to damage anything. There's some thermal pads there that kind of just peeled up. Okay, so there we go. We were able to pull that up. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing over here. Just pull this up. I'm pushing with my thumb on this corner edge, and hopefully it will pop out. Nope, doesn't want to come out. So let's try pulling it towards ourselves while kind of lifting it. Wow, this one, oh, there we go. Okay, so we did kind of have to pull it this way a little bit while prying it up. Now we're going to carefully lift this. Let's see here. Okay, and we're going to flip this up this way, and you want to be careful because there are all these cables here. If you yank too hard, you could damage it. So we're going to flip this up and remove this cable. Okay, so these have these little flip latch removal. Let me see if I can zoom in to show this better. Okay, so same thing with the keyboard here. Flip latch, flip that, and then you can go ahead and pull this cable out. Okay, have to wiggle it a little. And there we go. So we got the keyboard palm rest assembly out. Okay, let me zoom out a bit here so you can kind of see what's inside. Okay, so that's removed. All right, you can see the trackpad here. Looks like there's 3 screws here and 3 screws here. So you can probably replace the trackpad if you want. The keyboard does seem to be held in place with melted plastic. So if you're going to replace the keyboard, I'd probably recommend replacing the whole piece. All right. So let's go ahead now and set that aside. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here next. Let's get some stuff out of the way. So we got the battery connector here. We're going to go ahead and see if we can disconnect the battery. So let's go ahead and peel this black adhesive tape back. Okay, and this looks like one where you kind of just wiggle the connector out to remove it. So let's zoom in here. Okay, and let's go ahead and disconnect this connector. So I just use my fingernails at the wings and just wiggle this connector as you pull it, and there you go. You can see it pops out. All right, battery part number, if you need it, is right here, GB02XL. All right, and then there's a HP spare part number if you need that, which is L42583-002. All right, I don't see any replaceable memory or anything like that. There aren't many upgradable or replaceable parts in here. You can see the wireless card's removable. I'm not going to pull the whole motherboard out. So we're just going to check this. You got these cables here. There's 3 cables going into this board on the side for the USB-C port here and the USB port. So I'm surprised it needs so many connectors just for those 2 things. There's this small connector going to here that I'm not sure what that's for. But this cable seems like it might be loose. So let's go ahead and see if we can tighten that up. All right, that'll be kind of weird, but let's go ahead and flip this latch up and see if we can move this cable inwards a little and then flip that latch down. And it did go in a bit, so maybe that was just loose. I don't know, we'll find out. Okay, this cable, let's go ahead and just check all the cables, flip the latch up, make sure the cable's nice and flush, and then slide your finger over the top to latch it back down. All right, so this one, I don't know, they folded it kind of weird, so it's having a constant pressure pulling this cable back out. So maybe I should put some tape to help hold it better. But there we go, that's that. Okay, then you got all these cables here. Again, let's go ahead and peel this up so that we can tighten everything up underneath just in case. All right, so I don't know why they put all this adhesive stuff here. It's kind of annoying. But there we go. Flip this latch up. All right, make sure that's nice. All right, and then we got the one down here. We're gonna peel that up and flip this latch up as well. Okay, make sure that's in, and then go ahead and flip it back down. Good. All right, all these cables seem to be okay. So we're just gonna push everything in just to be safe. All right. It's annoying how they made this where they put little slits in this plastic, so if you just peel it, you will just tear it. But anyways, flip the latch. Okay, and then we're gonna slide that back down. Okay, there we go. Peel this one up as well. Okay, flip this latch. Okay, make sure this cable's in all the way. You can even like pull them out and then push them back in. As you can see, you can slide it back out a little bit. All right, and then we're just gonna slide our finger over the top and latch that back down. Stick that adhesive back in place. Okay, this is for the speaker down here. I don't know why there's a random piece of this stuff over here. All right, sorry if you didn't see, this is the speaker connector here. Right, you also got the LCD LVDS connector here. Just to be safe, I'm going to actually plug in the keyboard and then press and hold the power button for about 15 seconds to drain any residual power to make it safer to work on for the LCD connector. Sorry, I know you can't really see, but I'm just getting the keyboard connector back in. It's tough to work on it at this weird angle, so let me see if I can get it to where you can see, but probably not going to be able to do that. Oh, actually, okay. Yeah, I have to do it upside down this way. It's easier for me to reach that way. So, sorry if you can't see, but it is what it is. All right, so let's get that connector in. It's a little tricky to get this cable in. right? Sorry. I don't know how I can show this while I'm doing it, but since my customer's waiting outside, I don't have time to think of a way to kind of show this better. Come on, get in there. The cable's being annoying. Let me get, oh, you can kind of see it. Oh no, that's too much. I'm pulling on it too much, so that's a little bit risky. Maybe? Okay, there we go. So now we got that. Flip that latch down. Hopefully you can kind of see it. All right, I'm gonna press and hold the power button for about 15 seconds. This will drain any residual power, and again, it'll make it safer to work on. So I'll give it about 8 more seconds. Okay, and then we're just gonna go ahead and unlatch it and pull the keyboard back out. Okay, let's go ahead and unlatch that and pull that keyboard back out. Okay, last thing we're gonna check is the LCD LVDS connector here. Again, very important that you press and hold the power button before messing with this connector. Okay, so, oops, sorry, here we go. So I peeled up this adhesive. Now we're gonna go over here and see about getting under there. I'm going to use a plastic tool to get underneath this. Okay, and peel that up. All right, and the connector looks like it's tight in place, but if you want, you can go ahead and pull this out. Again, I'm going to just use my fingernails to kind of help pull the wings. And then there we go. So we got that connector out. Now we're just going to slide it back into place. And same thing, use the wings to help pull that connector in. Right, clicked into place, put the adhesive back down, put that adhesive back down. And there's not really much else in here. It could possibly be in the screen here. So maybe if it doesn't work, I'll try pulling the screen out. Actually, let me see if I can get the screen out now, because it's going to be annoying. I'm going to have to reset, pull the battery back out, and then press and hold the power button again if it doesn't work. So let's see if we can actually get to the screen right now. If it's glued in there, I'm probably going to skip this. And okay, I think it's glued in. Yeah, it's attached to this piece here, so it's a little bit risky. I'm going to put it back together. If it doesn't work, I'll see what the customer wants to do. If they want me to check that, then I'll do that afterwards. But let's go ahead and get the battery back in right now. Okay. So get that all lined up and then pinch the thing back together. And here you can see the connectors in all the way. All right, stick that down. I forgot to get a thumbnail, so let's zoom out a little bit and do that real quick. Okay, so we'll get the thumbnail here. All right, and let's go ahead now and get the keyboard and the trackpad stuff back in place. So again, this is a little bit difficult. I don't know how. Let me try angling it a little bit by putting something underneath and see if you can kind of see what I'm doing. So we're gonna zoom in here and let's go ahead and see if we can get this cable in while you can see what I'm doing. All right, so we'll get this in, line it up. Oh, this is pretty tough to do. Okay, trying to keep it in camera makes it even more difficult, but here we go. Okay, I think we got it in all the way. Make sure to hold it in. Oops, sorry. Make sure to hold it in with your thumb. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. So I'm holding it in with my thumb and then flipping that latch down. Okay, it's getting some dust in there, so let's clean that up. All right, and same thing with the trackpad connector over here. Okay, let's actually move it over a little so you can see. Same thing, make sure that latches up. Get the cable, and we're just gonna slide that in. Okay, and flip that latch down. All right, and there we go. Now we can go ahead and close the laptop up. And let's go ahead and see if we got any life out of this thing or if it's still gonna be messed up. Okay, so we're gonna push the top end here first. You might have to lift it a little and then get this in. Okay, so get it in at an angle like that. Same thing with this one. Okay, get those corners in, click this all into place, and then work your way around the edges. Okay, work your way around the edges. Come on, click into place. There we go. Okay, I'm just kind of pinching the thing together. There we go. All right, let's see if power button does anything. So far nothing. Let's go ahead and plug it in just in case the power is dead or low. Okay. I mean, the charge light comes on. Okay, let's go ahead and see if it does anything. Power button, still nothing. Okay, so I don't know what's going on, if it's the screen or what. This one, the screen folds back pretty far. So I don't know why it just randomly turned on for a moment earlier. That's what the customer was telling me it did at one point as well. Okay, I actually saw the screen go to black. So I have a feeling it's the backlight circuit is messed up or something. So let me close this and see if I can see it happen again. So right now it's off. Okay, I don't know if you can see the color of the screen. Let's see if holding the power button does anything. If it is a screen issue, then if we're lucky, we'll see a change in color. And I did see the screen now. It changed to a more greenish color. I don't know if you can tell in the camera. I'm going to push the power button and see if it goes back to black. And it does go back to black. So I'm going to hold this again and shut it off. I don't know if the change is visible in camera, but I can definitely see a difference. All right, so now what I'm going to do, we're going to pull the screen out because if nothing else is working, we might as well check that cable. Okay, again, normally what you'd want to do is to disconnect the battery and then hold the power button again. So I might have to do that again if I do see it's loose. Alright, but anyways, we're going to go around here. I'm using my fingernails to pull up the middle part and pushing down to basically twist the frame out. Okay, and then we're going to go along to the edge. The edge is difficult. I was pushing it in this way to help get it out. Alright, and same thing, I'm twisting the inside upwards while pushing the outside down. Okay, so we're just going to continue doing that. Okay, to try and get all this adhesive out. Oh, it looks like this rubber piece is going to come out as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the same thing, pulling it inwards again towards the center. And we're going to go ahead and try and get this out. Okay, there we go. I hope it's not the LCD or LVDS connector. Alright, or the screen. Hopefully it's not a bad screen, because on these models the screens are very not worth it because of the cost of these devices. Right? So now we're going towards the bottom, and hopefully it's going to come out without peeling up everything else. I'm going to use this tool to get in between and make sure that the plastic is staying against the screen. Okay, which right now it is, so I'm going to get this tool going along and pushing that against the screen as I pull the plastic back. Okay, I can actually feel it's getting stuck there, so that means it's not separating from the bezel. Okay, that means it's actually peeling the plastic from the screen out, and I don't want that to happen. So we're gonna have to slowly work our way over to the edge. This sucks. I hate when they use adhesive to hold this stuff together. Okay, so we're just gonna keep working our way over here. Okay, and continue working our way down. Hopefully I won't have to actually pull the whole screen out to get this out. Okay, I actually feel the adhesive separating here. Oh, I think I have another customer at the door. I might have to check. Okay, so the adhesive is cutting through. Alright. It's a slow, painful process. Alright, so we're going to just keep going. Cutting through all the adhesive here. Okay, and there we go. Alright, so now we got all that adhesive cut through. Hopefully we can pop the rest of this out. Okay, doesn't seem to want to come out. But let's go ahead and try pulling this forward. Wow, it really doesn't want to come out. So, I don't know. We might have to actually physically remove the whole screen assembly to get this out, because this doesn't seem to want to come out. But that's not going to be a fun repair, especially for a Chromebook, which isn't worth that much. Okay, so I don't know. Let's go ahead and see if we can see a gap from the other side. Okay, so here you can see there's a gap here, or a groove here, so we probably are going to have to pop that out, which is going to suck, because that means, let's see, this probably will slide off. Okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and pop the thing back apart, and let's go ahead and do it the long way. Okay, let's go ahead and pop this back out. Alright, you saw this part already. We're going to just pop the edges back out of here. Okay, go around the side as well. Go. Okay, got that out, hopefully. Come on. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and pop this back out. Alright, same thing with this side. Come on, go, pull it towards yourself as you pull it up. Alright, let's go ahead and unlatch all of this stuff again. Okay. Alright, set that aside again. Okay, disconnect the battery again here. Okay, I'm going to have to reconnect the keyboard again and press and hold the power button 15 seconds again. Come on, get in there. This keyboard cable is somewhat of a pain to replace. Okay, this isn't going in right. Come on. There we go. Okay, got that all in. Latch that down. Press and hold the power button 15 seconds again. Alright, we'll give it about 10 more seconds. Alright, I hope it's just going to be the screen and I can fix this, because that's going to be a pain. Alright, so it's been about 15 seconds. Let's go ahead now, pull this up. Alright, set that aside. Let's see, can we remove this? Alright, this is going to be a pain. I guess we're going to basically be doing a full disassembly. Let's go ahead and pull the speakers out of here, or at least move them out of the way. Again, you want to keep all the screws in order. Okay, one more screw over here. Okay, is that enough to lift this? And yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to lift the speakers out and just swing them out of the way. We're going to have to disconnect this LCD LVDS cable again. Okay, let's go ahead and get this out. I'm going to use the plastic tool again to make it easier. Okay, there we go. Slide the wings back. Okay, got the screen cable out. Now we have to get these. This is the webcam, I think, and microphones connector. So I'm going to grab that, wiggle it, wiggle, 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 and hopefully it will pop out. It's coming out. There we go. All right, and I don't know if there's a right side up or right side down that you can tell. This way you can see just the gold pins. If you flip it upside down, you can actually see the colorful wires. So you want the colorful wires facing down. All right, so go ahead and get these wires out. I'm not really focusing on if you can see right now because the customer's outside waiting and I'm just trying to do this quick. We're going to flip this latch and pull this cable out. Okay, and then we can actually pull this whole piece off. I I don't know what this little piece is for, but all right, we'll set that aside. Get this out. Okay, and now we got to get the wireless antenna wires out. So 1 is going to the auxiliary, and then 2 is going to the main. We're just going to pull up on the tails just like this, kind of wiggling it. Come on, there we go. And there we go. Okay, now we're just going to unroute all these wireless antenna wires here. Okay, and we're going to unroute this as well. All right. Okay, now let's go ahead and remove the screws for the hinges. So there's 2 on each side. Again, keep track of where you got them from. You don't want to mix these things up. Okay, and then we got 2 on this side as well. Remove those as well. All right, you're going to want to hold the screen because it might fall over once you remove the last screw. Okay, and it is falling over. Hopefully we can easily get this out. How are we going to get this out? It's trapped. So, okay, I'm gonna see, can we open the screen all the way? So I'm holding on to the hinges with my thumbs. Let me zoom out a bit here. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna open the screen further back because it doesn't look like we can pull this out. I don't know if that's gonna help. That might make it worse. Can I somehow, how do we get this out? Do I need to close the screen? Okay, let's close the screen a bit here. Okay, now that we have the screen closed, can we get this out? What in the world? How do you get these hinges out? Okay, I don't know how to get this out. This is really weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold this and then open it. How do you get this out? This plastic is a solid piece here, and this piece is solid here, so what? What? I don't get it. Is this supposed to come out first? I'm confused. Does this move around? Does this bar slide at all? No? Okay, I'm gonna put the hinge screws back in because I don't see how I'm gonna get the hinge out. I'm wondering if it comes out from the screen side first, and maybe I just didn't try hard enough. I don't know. I'm not seeing how I would get this out. I might have to go outside and see if my customer's out there waiting, but let's see here. Yeah, I'm not seeing how you would get this out. This is really strange. Okay, let's try and put a little more force into pulling this out and see if it's going to move at all. I don't know how you would get it out. I think you'd have to close the screen completely, but then how would you... So if I close this all the way... Okay, I think if I close the screen all the way, I can probably get it out. So I'm going to try that. It's going to be weird. The difficult thing is, how am I going to open the hinges back afterwards? This is a little bit risky trying this, but let's go ahead and give it a shot. Okay, got all the screws out. Alright, so let's go ahead and close this up. I'm pulling the screen down while closing it to keep the pressure down along the hinges themselves. Okay, so I'm going to close this quite a bit more. And then, can we somehow swing this out now? No? I don't get it. How is that being held in place? I don't understand this design. How is it doing that? I don't know what's going on here. Okay, I'm gonna hold the hinges and open the screen again. I don't see how... I mean, it should just come through from here. So, in theory, folding it should work. I don't know. I guess we'll try again. Let me try folding it even further this time. Okay. Feels like it's wobbling a little bit out, but not really. Come on, how do you get this thing out? I don't think it'll work because then it's hitting the plastic here. Okay, let me go show my customer what I'm dealing with and I'll be back. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so I don't know what's going on, so we're just gonna put this back together, I guess. Can I even get this back in? What? No, it's like stuck up. Come on, go back in. I don't know why the left side is not wanting to go back now. It should drop into place. Or is that part of how you remove it? No, I don't think so. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna put these screws back in. And I don't know, I'll have to see if I can figure something out later. But that's gonna be it for now. I'll take a look later. I'll be back to reassemble this. But just to be safe, I'm gonna... The customer was like, oh, I guess I'll come back tomorrow. So I don't know. He could have done that earlier so I could have had my dinner, but I guess... Well, alright. I'll see you guys in a bit. For me, it'll be a while, but for you guys, it'll be like a few seconds. Alright, and I'll see you later when I figure something out. Alright, I'm back. Let's see if we can get this screen out. I'm going to try folding this back further. Okay, it folds almost completely flat, 180 degrees. Let's go ahead now and see if we can pop this out. I'm going to just try pulling it out and see what happens. Alright, I mean, it's broken anyway, so might as well go for it. Okay, so we're just pulling this up. Okay. Since I couldn't get the hinge. Oh, that seems to be working. Okay, we're almost there. So we're keep pulling on this. And hopefully... This edge is still stuck down there. Okay. That corner came up. This corner came up. So this piece is still stuck. I'm going to see if I can pop that edge out. Let's go ahead and move this speaker back out of the way. I guess I didn't have to take all these cables out, but... Okay, let's go ahead and close this up a bit. And let's see if we can pop this edge out here. Okay, so... Alright, that seems to work. I'm just running my fingernail in there, and there we go. Alright, let's go ahead now and open this all the way up again. And hopefully we can pop the whole screen hinge frame out now. Okay, so we got all that. Let's go ahead and continue lifting, and that works. Okay, so we got that, and it looks like if you do want to remove the hinge, you would have to actually remove that. Alright, that sucks. Anyways, let's go ahead and remove the 4 screws holding the screen into the back assembly, and then we're just going to reassemble this entire thing. And if that doesn't solve the problem, then I guess it is what it is. We're just going to be stuck with that. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these last 4 screws out. Okay. And I'm looking at this, and this hinge design seems to be pretty good. They have a screw down here and then have some screws up here. It would be nice if they put some screws like further up here, but that's how they designed it. Alright, so let's go ahead and lift this screen out and see if we can do anything with the screen cable. Okay, I'm gonna flip this forward, and sadly this screen cable seems to be completely in place, so I don't think moving it is gonna do anything. what we're gonna do, let's rotate this screen this way. All right, so now I kind of have some access to this. I'm gonna try and get this screen cable out. Okay, so I'm gonna use this, and let's go ahead and try and get this screen cable up. Okay, so just trying to cut through the adhesive here. Okay, well, hopefully that's enough. Let's go ahead and try and peel it up. Alright, this thing is really difficult to peel off. Okay, the adhesive actually is separating from the plastic tab, so it is what it is. Let's go ahead and just peel this up. Okay. Alright, we got that completely out. And let's go ahead and disconnect the cable here. So let me zoom in a bit so you guys can see a little better. Okay, just like every other model screen, you just grab the wings, pull it back, and there we go, it came out. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put this back in. Make sure it lines up right. We're gonna use this pull tab to help pull it in. I felt it click in place, and then we're just gonna tape that back on there. If you're wondering what the screen model number is, here it is. You don't wanna just copy this because sometimes it might be wrong, but N140BGA-EA3, revision C1. All right, that's the screen model number, and then the LCD LVDS model number is here. You can read that yourself. It's really long, so I'm not going to read it, but there we go. Hopefully it's visible. Okay, and now let's go ahead and put this thing back together and see if we got any luck, but I think it's not going to work. All right, so anyways, we're going to flip this back over this way, and then we're just going to flip that back up. Make sure the cable goes back through the cable routing, just like before. Okay, just like that. Get all four corners into place. Okay, so if you wanted to replace the screen, you could replace the screen just like that. Again, it is important that you disconnect the battery and then press and hold the power button for 15 seconds. And because the power button's on the keyboard, you have to actually plug the keyboard back in and then do that. All right, so anyways, let's go ahead and get this thing back together. And again, the adhesive here is somewhat annoying, so if your screen isn't broken, you don't want to mess around with that because there's a good chance that you'll actually damage the screen worse. Okay, keep that in mind. All right, now that we got all four screws in, we can go ahead and put the screen bezel back into place. Okay, let's get that. If you're wondering, this is what the inside of the bezel looks like. Okay, this rubber piece is coming out from the adhesive. They just put a little double stick tape on this to hold that in place. All right, anyways, there's adhesive all around, as you can see, adhesive all the way around the entire thing. So yeah, keep that in mind. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and snap this back into place. Okay, so get that in. Line that up. This you have to kind of bend down bend down a little bit. There we go. Okay, and let's just go ahead and snap all of this back in. So I'm just pushing on the outer edge, so it's basically doing like where it rotates, like how we were lifting it out, except now we're pushing it back down. Okay, if the clip doesn't go in, you can always like try and help twist it back that way and then just push it into place. Okay, so there we go. Got all of that. Let's go ahead and clip this. Okay. Oh, I might have to go from the other side to clip these in. Oh, there we go. Okay. So there we go. Clip all of that back into place. Make sure that's all nice and clipped down. All right, so we got the screen good to go. Let's go ahead now and get all of this back in. So let's move this speaker back out of the way. All right. This is an annoying design in terms of this, but that's how they designed it, so that's what we got to do. All right, so we'll get these cables back under into these cable mounts. Okay, I'm just going to get this wire in first, just have it follow all of that again. Okay, I can't really see here, so all right, so we got to get this to go around there. All right, go over here, that goes around there. Okay, goes around this one, keep going, goes around this one. Alright, and it's still going down over here, right? Does it go in there? I don't know. Okay, it looks like it works. And this is cable 1, so we're going to put that back in the auxiliary connector. Line it up. The way you know it's lined up is if you try and move it around, it stays in place. Then you can go ahead and click it down. Alright, let's get this cable back in, the LCD LVDS connector. Hopefully I didn't have to do that one first. Okay, there we go. Peel this back up. Right, line that up. Get it all lined up and pull that in. Make sure both sides click into place. Stick that adhesive back down. We can get that, and we'll put, nope, we can't put that back yet. Okay, let's go ahead and now get these cables back in. Okay, I don't know if it matters which one goes first, probably not, but just make sure they both go in there. Okay, just like that. All right, these cables go underneath here, so we need to lift that up. All right, get that in. Okay, just like this. There we go. Come on, get in there. Alright, same thing with the wireless antenna. Okay, have it get in there. Alright. Get in there. Alright. We can go ahead and actually put this piece back in. Alright, flip that latch up. Get that cable in there, and then slide your finger over the top to latch it back down, and we'll drop that in. Okay, so I'm guessing this one's supposed to go on the upper route because this antenna connects down here. So again, line it up, make sure it stays in place when it's there. Okay, here we go. Okay, good, and then click that in. All right, don't forget this cable. Okay, just like that. Line that up. Make sure you don't put it in upside down. Okay. Just like that. It's a little bit tricky. Come on, get in. Get in. Get in. This cable's tricky. I'm going to use some tweezers to make it a little bit easier. Hopefully. Hey, stop. Why is it rotating? Come on, get the other side in. This cable's so difficult to put back. Okay, tweezers aren't helping. Okay, there we go. Got it in. There's a little notch here. I don't know if I probably should have zoomed in more to show you guys this earlier. But there's a little groove or a notch here that you can actually use to help push this into place a little bit. Okay. Alright, and there we go. It clicked into place. If you want, you can double check with your fingernail or fingers. Alright, there we go. Let's go ahead and zoom back out. Alright, I think we're good. We can go ahead and put these speakers back into place over here. Okay, just like that. And then we had the 3 screws holding the speakers down into place. So let's go ahead and get those back in. Okay, we'll get this screw in there. Hopefully I'm not putting any that should go in from the other side. I think this is correct, if I remember correctly. And this one. And the last screw here. Okay, I think that's all of them. Yeah, that looks right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 4 at the bottom. Okay, so now we're just going to put the keyboard back together, just like before. Alright, don't forget to reconnect the battery, of course. Okay, so get that battery connected, pinch it back together. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put this back again. Let me see if I can raise this up again a little bit so you guys can see. Okay. This part's difficult to record, but I'll do what I can. All right. So I tried to show it earlier, but yeah. All right, let's get this one first. I think this cable's longer, so it's a little bit easier. Line it up, slide your finger over the latch, and there we go. All right, same thing with this one. Okay, get this cable in. And this one, for some reason, is a little bit difficult. You have to somewhat get it raised up and also over there. There we go. And then we'll slide that latch down with our finger. There we go. Okay. Now let's go ahead and just click all this back into place again. Okay, same thing. Just line everything up. If you want, you can lift the front side up a little to help get this back edge in. Okay, just lift it up a little to help get that back edge in again. There we go. And go ahead and click all of that in. And then click all of these sides in. Okay, and don't forget to click the front in as well, of course. Okay, and I think that's completely snapped back together. Okay, let's go ahead and see if anything changes when we try and power it on. No, I do see the screen change colors, but it looks like it must be either the screen cable or a motherboard issue. But yeah, it's not coming back on, so I'm gonna plug this in. You can actually see that the charge light is orange, but the screen is staying dark. Again, if I hold the button, you'll eventually see that the screen will turn a little bit lighter. Like, I don't know if you can even see it actually. So right now it's like a greenish black color, and if I power it on, it turns actually completely black. So I don't know if you saw that flicker. But yeah, I don't see anything at all appearing on the screen itself. So it is what it is. It looks like it's not going to be repairable, not worth fixing. So we're just going to go ahead and put all the screws back, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Other than that, you're welcome to stay as I put back all the screws. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and get all of this back in. Doesn't look like there's a special way you have to put back the... Actually, there is. So there's a little notch in the circle piece, so you want to line that up and then stick that back into place. Okay, I think somebody tried to rip this out before and damage the feet of it. But yeah, alright, let's go ahead and get this one back in. Same thing, there's a little notch cut in it, so let's get that in. There we go. Alright, and let's get the rest back into place. Alright, sadly this one wasn't repairable, so in the end I ended up putting a lot of time into this and no luck. I mean, I figured these laptops are pretty cheap, usually not worth repairing even if they are, but yeah, they wanted to try, so I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna see if a USB-C HDMI adapter works on here as well, just in case it's like a weird LCD screen issue. Then I can at least know it's not some other hardware piece. It might be the screen, it might be the cable, it might be sometimes the motherboard backlight circuit, but at least we'll know it's like a graphical, something related with the screen or display output, and we'll know if the hardware works. Alright, so I'm gonna try that, and yeah, we'll see. Alright, anyways, that's pretty much it. Oh, I think they actually switched this around because this one has a sharp rise in it. So do they have a flat one here? Probably this one. Okay, so I think the customer took these out before to try and fix it themselves. Actually, this one has a slight angle to it. That also has a slight angle to it. So these also have a correct way to go. Okay, so this one is more flat, so we're gonna stick that one there. Alright, yeah, I think the customer before took them out and then mixed them up. right. Okay, so this, oops, I put it backwards. I put this one backwards. Yeah, so the slightly higher side goes in towards the center because the curve of this. All right, anyways, I'm going to go try it on a monitor. And yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this spike.